All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you had a good time yesterday at the Universal Studios, and thank you for coming here, by the way. This is a dedicated crowd, to say the least. All right. So we will, there is a deck prepared here, but it's a small enough crowd that if you do have questions, please feel free to to raise your hands, ask. I think you might have to, for recording purposes, come up to the mics. All right, let's jump right into it. So let me start with just a quick overview of what we are seeing from our side, how we are seeing the market grow. It's pretty good. By 2022, according to a study about the market, addressable market should be about $21 billion. That's good. Growing at a rate of about 27% year over year. But the key thing here to note is that it's really growing much faster at about 41% year over year. It's growing much faster in the cloud, which is from an Azure standpoint is a good thing, because that's where we are. And what we are really noticing our customers do is they prefer the open source analytics world, for a number of reasons. They feel that it gives them sort of the multi-cloud as an option. They can move where they want to if they need to. It's hard, but at least that option is preserved. Open source analytics itself has grown over the last about 10, 11 years. We had Hadoop, we have Spark, but we have so many other new scenarios that are coming up, new projects that are coming up, and we're really seeing projects like or workloads like streaming, for example, with Kafka, ML scenarios. These are really picking up. So the traditional Hadoop is probably kind of evolved to where it could, but there are newer systems, newer projects that are coming up that we ourselves in HDInsight are going to start supporting very soon. Now, even though the market itself is growing, the on-premises Hadoop world, there is some churn for sure, right? We have seen significant movement there. MapR, a few months ago, got bought by HP. But in general, customers have really found that when they are trying to process very, very large amounts of data, the storage of it, the elasticity that is needed from a compute perspective, that's very hard to get and maintain on premises. So the cloud is where that processing needs to happen. And so we are seeing a lot of our customers are moving to the cloud. And with that, that's exactly what we're observing in HDInsight. As a service, it is actually growing at almost double every few months. And customers are doing really not just mission critical things, but really large processing on HDInsight. So we run well over 10,000 clusters every single day that customers are creating, shutting down, creating again. Over 500,000 cores concurrently across all our customers. 500,000 cores of processing is happening 24/7, right? So that's a significant amount of work that happens on HDInsight. We have a single largest clusters is over 16,000 cores. It's a pretty expensive cluster, of course, but a single cluster that size is pretty interesting that we have been able to achieve that kind of scale. We have a single customer who it's a large customer, of course, but for their scenarios, they actually run 1,500 clusters every single day, right? And most of them are running concurrently. When a customer runs such large kind of workloads, they do come up with very unique scenarios. Their requirements are around security, around monitoring, around cost control. These are unique scenarios, present some very unique challenges for the customer, for us, that we are constantly trying to innovate around. And once we do, those benefits go to all customers, big or small. And from a job standpoint, we've run well over 1 billion jobs per month. So again, the overall message of this slide, it's a large service, HDInsight, growing, and we are continuing to innovate and get new features and capabilities out to customers. So why do customers like HDInsight? What do they get out of it? So when we are designing our product and talking to our customers, it really falls into 2 categories. First and foremost is the open source analytics workloads, the applications that customers are building. HDInsight is 100% Apache open source. That's what customers love about it, right? There's no proprietary stuff that is built into to HDInsight. We support end-to-end, right? Starting with data ingestion through something like Kafka, to interactive query through Spark SQL, LLAP, and in fact, in working with some of our ISV partners, we even have projects like Presto that we support on HDInsight. And that goes towards the customizability part, right? It's not just about what Microsoft ships in HDInsight. Customers have their own unique requirements. They have custom tools that they have built that they want to run on HDInsight. And that's where the customizability part of it. You can SSH into the cluster, install your own tools. We work with a long list of ISVs to bring their tools that you are familiar with. So Waterline Data, for example, for cataloging, or Informatica, their systems do work with HDInsight. And since I talked about migrations before, customers we are working with SIs and several partners to help customers move from their on-premise systems over to HDInsight. Now, I talked about the applications themselves, but then at the end of the day, most of our customers are large enterprises, and they need their systems, their applications to run in an environment that is on par with what their enterprise requirements are, policies around security. And so that's a big focus for us. And over time, we have continued to increase the level of security in HDInsight. So for things like strong VNet isolation, encryption at rest, we are slowly moving towards more modern authentication protocols. So multi-factor authentication, and I will talk about that in a little bit later, is something that we are starting to enable in HDInsight. But in addition to security, when you're talking about big data, you're potentially talking about large costs, right? So customers don't want to run a cluster 24/7. They want to respond to load. So maybe in the morning at 9 a.m., everybody filters in to work. They start running queries. You want the cluster to grow along with that increased load. And then at 5 p.m., things start to shut down. OK, great. Let the cluster also wind down to what the minimum requirements are. And so those kinds of capabilities we are continuing to add. We just GA'd the auto-scale feature, and I'll show you a little bit about that later on. But you will see more of these kinds of cost control features come into HDInsight over the course of the next few months. OK. So you've probably seen this diagram or some version of this diagram many times. But this is an example of what a typical customer on HDInsight does. It's possible that they start on the cold path because they have a lot of baseline data that they have collected over the years, and they want to continue processing it. Maybe they were doing so on premises. They moved to the cloud. And the first step is to implement the cold path processing. But very soon, they will get into sort of IoT scenarios or clickstream scenarios where you have a constant feed of data coming in. You want to process that, but then join it, so to speak, with the data that you have already collected, the historical data that's already been collected. And all of that, we want to enable in one single environment, if you will, right? That's your big data application, not just Hive or not just Kafka. And so the approach that we have taken is the data lake approach. right? So whether it is your historical data, batch data that is coming in, or your data, event data that is coming in through Kafka, Event Hub, et cetera, that data, all of it, lands up in an HDFS-compatible storage. And that's where Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure Storage itself, Blob, come into the picture. They all go there, and then you can run any sort of analytics on top of it, whether it is HDInsight, or you heard the announcements around Azure Synapse Analytics. Any analytics over any data. Ultimately, that's where we are trying to take all our analytics offerings. And on the other side, once the data is in the data lake and you have processed it, you want your applications to be able to query that data, to actually get the value. You want to explore the data, gain insights. And so through open protocols, ODBC, JDBC, et cetera, we support almost all the different tools that a data analyst, if you will, may want to use. So whether it is multiple types of notebooks, or Excel, Tableau, what have you, all of those are supported. And so like I mentioned before, this is sort of what our customer implements. It's not just about HDInsight. There are a number of other services that are involved here. And our goal, every single quarter, semester that we work in, is to keep improving that integration between all these different pieces that you are seeing up on the presentation monitor here. Okay? So when you're trying to build such a complex system, there are many, many things that you need to figure out. You kind of have to figure out, okay, what analytic workload should I use? Hive, Spark, which version of Kafka should I use? How do I connect to my Hive clusters, my Kafka clusters? You are worried about performance. Maybe you're running something on premises, everything is co-located, your data is in the same cluster, HDFS. Now you move to the cloud, your data is in ADLS, your compute is running separately. Okay, what are the perf implications of that? Is that still meet your business requirements? So you are worried about performance. You worry about security. You got things running fast enough. Now your IT security person is going to say, okay, well, hold on, who has access to the data? Who is computing it? Who is able to overwrite it? And so security becomes a big concern. And then, of course, the financial part of it, right? How much is it costing you? Are you doing, getting high enough utilization of the compute clusters that you have created? You have to monitor. Like I mentioned, we have some customers who are running over 1,500 clusters at the same time. How do you monitor them? How do you know that which of your 1,500 clusters is healthy or unhealthy, and you have to go take some action? And so integrating with Azure monitoring and the dashboard experience there, those are problems that we are trying to solve at that scale. And that's also work in progress. And last but not the least, migration, right? You might have years of legacy that you've built up on premises that you want to move to the cloud. It's not a straightforward task at all. There are lots of different aspects you have to consider. And so we are actually doing a bunch of work there in collaboration with some of our partners to help with that migration. Now today, I'm not going to get the time to go through every single one of these things, but I will touch upon analytic workloads. I'll go over some recent work that we have done, but there is, of course, a lot more to it, so please feel free to reach out to us afterwards. By the way, this presentation, as well as if you had the chance to walk by our booth earlier today, this is all the material is going to be available. It actually is available right now on GitHub. So you can go and download that and just read through it on your own pace as well. All right. So let's move forward. Let's talk about analytics workloads. Now, the first thing that we are, that I would like to announce here is that for some of you who have used HDInsight before, you would know that we have always started, at the core of it, we take the Hortonworks HDP distribution, and we make it run on Azure, right? So Hortonworks, now Cloudera, they build the distribution and test it. They give it to us. We test it on Azure, put all the security, monitoring, all these other service aspects to it. And that's what HDInsight is. But starting next year, early part of next year, while we'll continue to support HDP, but starting next year, HDInsight will actually have distributions that are built and operated by Microsoft. So it's our own distribution. We are going to get it from Apache mainline, if you will, Apache root, and offer it in HDInsight. What that allows us to do is release on a faster cadence. Now, in the cloud, there are certain differences. People expect as soon as something shows up on Apache and it is relatively stable, people want to try it out. And so we want to get to that, that faster release cadence that becomes possible once it's under our control, if you will. We want to start supporting newer projects. Projects like Flink, Druid, et cetera. We would certainly want to support that in HDInsight. And this, again, having our own distribution at the core of HDInsight allows us to do that. And then, like I mentioned, there are differences between on-premises and the cloud environments, remote storage being one of them. There are a number of different performance, scalability, availability optimizations that can be made. For example, predicate push down to the remote store or caching. That becomes easier for us to do if with our own distribution. Azure native. So we want to make sure that HDInsight customers get the best of the Azure platform. So any optimizations, any new capabilities that the platform itself is exposing, so whether it is security, networking, storage, we want to be the first ones to make that available to HDInsight customers. And again, something that becomes easier if we have our own distribution. And last but not the least here, the on-premise big data market was built around the consulting business model, if you will, right? But we have over 10 years at Microsoft through various technologies, over 10 years of experience running big data systems. We have lots and lots of telemetry and experience with how customers are using our big data systems. Now, we can actually bring all of that to bear on specific improvements that we can do for HDInsight or Synapse Analytics and other analytics projects that we have. And so, starting with, for example, developer tools. One of the demos we have, not here, but in the booth we had it, and again, available to you at GitHub, is specific improvements to the Spark developer experience. So things like job playback, et cetera, that we were able to build based on that experience and ship quickly to our customers. So we'll continue to do that as we do our own distribution of Apache projects. Okay? All right. So moving along, though, so that, by the way, is, like I said, is going to be available to you in early next year. But now what's available right now? So at this event earlier this week, we announced the preview of the Kafka REST proxy. So for those of you who have used Kafka with HDInsight, earlier you would have to deploy your own proxy, if you will, a Kafka producer or consumers, inside the same VNet as the HDInsight cluster or in a paired VNet. So getting going, if you just have a bunch of devices that you want to, that are sending up events, was a little bit harder because you would have to build the proxy yourself. But now with HDInsight for Kafka 2.1 clusters and above, we have our own proxy. It's a REST proxy that supports pretty much all the APIs, most of the APIs that customers need. It's secured through AAD, so that should be reassuring. But the most important thing is that with one click in the UI, as you're configuring a cluster, we have the REST endpoint, and it's so much easier to set up, both from a producer as well as on a consumer standpoint. It's just so much easier to get going. So, it's in preview. A couple of months down the road, probably early next year, we will move this to GA as well once we get feedback from all of you. In addition to this, we also have the newer versions of Spark that's already we are making available, and we'll continue to rev that as newer versions show up on Apache. Okay, any questions on Kafka? All right. So let's talk about performance. So HBase accelerated writes. How many of you are actually using HBase in general or even in HDInsight? Okay. So HBase is a little bit unique. When you have a remote store and you're doing lots of writes, lots of small writes, like that which happens in with the write-ahead log in particular, and you're talking to a remote store, any spikes in latencies in the remote store can have a trickle-down or trickle-up effect on the overall performance of the system. Okay. So it can have a problem with the performance. So what we have done with HBase accelerated writes, which has been in preview for a while, but we are declaring GA now, is it'll actually write to managed disk. And from our tests, we see more than a 10x improvement in performance and reliability as well, but certainly performance through the use of managed disks. And again, very simple to set up, simple options in the UI. I'm not sure why this is moving so quickly. All right, let's talk about security. So one of the problems that we have had with us that customers have had is HDInsight is running queries over critical data. Customers who have access to it have access to sensitive data and need to be privileged in some sense. But what about the modern protocols that are out there, multi-factor auth in particular? How do I do that? How do I secure my clusters with multi-factor authentication? So that was not possible before. But now with a feature that is currently in preview, we are actually enabling that. So with something called HDInsight ID Broker, very straightforward to actually enable, we are able to bypass, or not bypass, but work with the ADDS system to get both OAuth tokens as well as Kerberos tokens, but in that process, implement multi-factor authentication as well. And all our tools are also integrated with that. Restricting outbound traffic. So, previously in HDInsight, every single worker node in the cluster needed full outbound network access. Inbound was always in control, but outbound you needed to allow full access, which was a problem for a lot of our customers who are in heavily regulated industries, financials, insurance, and so on. And so for those customers, again, integrating with, I'm not sure what this is, integrating with Azure Firewall, we are able to now set up rules which say, okay, from this cluster only to these outbound destinations, this is the only traffic that needs to be allowed. Everything else can be shut down. So your data exfiltration scenarios become much easier now to protect against than before. It does require the use of Azure Firewall, though. Okay. All right. Now, before I move on from security, I do want to say that securing an HDInsight cluster is a shared responsibility. Now, the approach we have taken is at all layers, right from the physical infrastructure all the way to data access and application security. Either Microsoft takes full responsibility, like we have in the case of physical and the virtualized infrastructure security, but at other layers, we offer all the features. But we at the same time expect customers to use those features to the full effect. That's what is going to give you, at the end of the day, the full end-to-end security. Now, over time, all of those blue boxes are going to get easier to use. That's the goal of the service. Every single, I talked about MFA and other things. We are making it easier and easier, but at this point in time, it is a shared responsibility. And we are providing all the documents, but please reach out to us if you have questions. But that's the expectation here. Okay. All right. I think we are actually doing pretty good. Any questions on security or anything before I move on? All right. So cost control. So auto scale. Previously, a lot of our customers would come and say, okay, if I run a cluster 24/7, that's too much, right? I may not be using it most of the time, so I want to shut it down. All right, you bring up a cluster, use it for however long, and you shut it down. But then as their own scenarios became more and more complicated, so they have to install their own applications, their own tools. They have security policies that need to be implemented that are complex to implement sometimes and deploy. That becomes hard to do if you're constantly bringing up a cluster, running it for 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, shutting it down, then bring it back up again. Because your configuration of your security policies, installing applications, those have to repeat over and over again every single time. So how do you balance that? The answer really is to create the cluster. If that's your requirement, then create the cluster, customize it, install what you need to install, deploy the policies that you need to deploy, but then keep scaling the cluster up and down as you need it, right? You're not going to need all 50 nodes, 100 nodes every single time. So just scale it up and down as needed. Now, we introduced auto scale as a preview feature about 6 months ago. And we got a lot of feedback from customers, actually. And initially when we did it, it was all about just load-based. So we would detect, we would monitor for CPU load on all the worker nodes. And based on that, we would scale up and down. The feedback we got from customers was, OK, that's good. But they actually know, because we are waiting for a trigger to happen, and then we scale up. It takes 15, 20 minutes to scale up. And sometimes that wouldn't actually meet the customer's requirement in terms of being absolutely ready for the performance, for the load that they're looking for. So their ask was, can you just schedule it? I know exactly when, in their case, I know exactly when the load is expected to increase. And I know when I need to scale things down. So give me what we now call the schedule-based auto scale. So again, it's very straightforward in the UI. You can, when you're creating a cluster, you can go and choose whether you want the load-based, in which case that's it. You just pick load-based. And you pick a min and a max, and we will keep scaling the cluster between those two ranges. Or you can pick schedule-based, in which case you can actually go every single day, say, OK, between this time to this time, I need 10 nodes. Between this time and some other time, I need 20, and scale it back to 3. Whatever your requirements are, you can actually set up fairly complex policies with the schedule-based auto scale. And of course, what customers wanted from us is then the visibility into what is happening. When is it actually, when, how much, especially for load-based, how much is the cluster scaling up and down at what times? And so through our UI, and even actually we give you the activity records as well, you can actually monitor exactly what's going on in terms of scaling. And what you can see in the bottom left-hand corner there is that squiggly graph. I don't know if it's very visible from there, but it's actually showing you what the cluster size was at various points of the day. And so this is actually, if you analyze this pattern, then at the end of the day, what you will get is you're paying for only what you're needing, because the system is scaling accordingly. So driving high utilization gets you your cost control for your service. Okay. We are, at this point in time, we have in GA the auto scale for Spark, for Hive, and for MapReduce clusters. LLAP and HBase clusters, we actually released auto scale for that a couple of months ago. Customers are still are validating it, giving us feedback. So those two cluster types are not in GA yet. We expect to do that in the next, by early next year. But in general, the rest of Autoscale for the remaining cluster types is actually in GA today. Okay. Any questions about Autoscale? Event-driven, do you mean like Kafka and so on? Sorry, I couldn't actually hear you from the...
Sorry, like CADA integration, obviously, so like scale my Spark cluster based on actually covered demand.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so that's something that we can look into. It's, let's talk about that scenario in more detail. There may be some ways that we can expose APIs so that customers... today, actually, HDInsight does have a resize API. That if customers do need to trigger a scaling operation based on their own events, they can do that. Our experience has been that resizing does have some implications around like HDFS safe mode going on. So if you kind of scale the cluster below a certain number of nodes, it tends to create some issues. But otherwise, the API is available for you to do that even before we officially get to implement those as part of Autoscale. Right. All right. So let me wrap up. What I hope, as if you're using HDInsight or have been using HDInsight for a while, or even if you're new to it, what I hope you will take away is that Microsoft, we are actually investing a lot in the open source analytics space. A lot of features have gone in over the last 18 months as we have, at this time last year, actually at Ignite, we were the first cloud provider to announce support for Hadoop 3.0. And so all the tools and facilities that come with it, we made it available in HDInsight. We announced at that time also the support, ESP, Enterprise Security Package, also was GA'd last year at this time. And so over the last few months, we have consistently been adding features that our customers have wanted, both developers, enterprise administrators, and so on. And we'll continue to do that, right? What I walked you through was sort of a taste of what we added. There's a whole bunch of other features that I wouldn't have had time really in 10 minutes to go over the remaining things. But all those, at the end of the day, is expected, for you should expect to be able to innovate, right? Run any of those scenarios and more that I've listed here, fast BI, experimentation, et cetera, across your entire data estate, right? Whether the data is sitting in ADLS or SQL servers or data warehouse, et cetera, we are enabling connectors increasingly to all of these systems. We have Presto. I was talking to one of you, just before the talk, that we are working with an ISP, Starburst, to bring Presto onto HDInsight. They have been there. We are working with them now to get more of their features enabled. So those are just examples that we are open to working with the community, with the ISPs, to bring the analytics engines of your choice to HDInsight, so that you can, on a managed platform where we are monitoring, we take on a significant responsibility here to maintain availability, reliability, speed of cluster startup, et cetera, that at the end of the day, you can complete your digital transformation, right? From on-premises to the cloud, new scenarios. That's what we want you to enable on Azure. So hopefully, you're seeing this happen in front of you. There's a lot more to come in the next 6 months. And so when I'm here next year at this time, hopefully there'll be a lot more that I can share with you. So apart from this session, there are lots of those links, our overview pages, documentation, blogs, et cetera. Please feel free to try out, follow those, and keep up to date with what HDInsight has been releasing, and reach out to us on the product team, and we can certainly help as we can. Okay, I think we have 10 minutes. So, I'll open up for questions. Yeah, go ahead.
So how quick is scaling operations?
How quick is the scaling operations? Yeah, so good question. So typically we see about 10 to 15 minutes. It depends a lot on how much we need to scale by. Most customers today are trying to go from, typically go from about 4 to 25, 30 nodes. And we see about 15 to 20 minutes as our standard. It also depends a lot on whether the customer is trying to run script actions. Because part of the scaling operation, when we get a new node, we have to run the customers. They want to run their security systems, for example, right? So there is a time to allocate the new VM, but then there's time taken to run their script actions and complete the preparation of that. So the full thing takes about 20 minutes, I would say. Right? Any other questions on autoscale, security? All right, going once, going twice. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Hope you had a great Ignite and safe flight home whenever you're doing that. Thank you.